The camera is so close to me. Whoa! Bumped the light and it's gone. Where? Right there. We're back in business, baby. I'm sweating. I'm sweating. I'll just move this light a little bit to the side here. So fast forward to 2017, the university admissions opened and I applied and I was given admission to 2 programs. One was international management and the other was innovation management. Of course, not both programs were full scholarship. International management was a full scholarship, but innovation management was only a half scholarship. Of course, I had to choose the full scholarship. Anyone sane or would choose the full scholarship, wouldn't you? So that's what I did. So I had to save up money. Now I knew that matters were in my own hands. I had to begin saving up money for my travel, for my upkeep and all that. When the period came for me to travel, I realized I didn't have enough money, so I contacted my father. He's more like an uncle, but he's been there for me like ever since high school. He has paid my school fees ever since high school. So I contacted him. I was like, hey, Dad, look, I have this opportunity to go abroad, but I need some extra cash for my upkeep for the first few months. The reason for asking for more money for my upkeep while abroad was this one reason. This university organization or scholarship organization figured out that when they wired money to these students, foreign students who had gotten scholarships, in the early days of the program or in the early days of their study, some of these students would actually get the money and just travel back to their countries and not even study. I'm not even kidding, guys. These guys would get the money because it's already in their bank account anyways and just travel back to wherever they came from. Of course, this was a disservice. It wasn't good. That was terrible. I don't know. Like whoever did that, whoever came up with that idea of just running away with the scholarship money was a terrible idea. Was a terrible person. That made the university or the scholarship organization make a few changes. So you did not receive that scholarship money until half semester. So until the semester was like midway, that is when you would get the first installment of your scholarship money. And by the time you get that money, of course, you have some rent to pay. You have a few debts here and there that you have to pay. For example, for most students who didn't have enough upkeep money when they had just arrived in the country, most times would have a bigger rent debt to pay. Unlike in my case, I had saved up a little bit of money. My uncle, Dad, I call him Dad, had given me some extra cash, of course, which I eventually paid back later on. Yeah, I did not really suffer in the first few months of the semester or in the first few months of the program. Before I traveled, I remember telling my HR, I told my boss that I was going to travel. I told him I had got this opportunity to go and further my studies abroad, study my master's. I told him, yeah, I'll be leaving in August. I told him, yeah, August would be the last time I'll be working with the organization. And then I also told the hospital about the same. I told them, hey, I've got this opportunity to travel abroad to do my master's, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, okay, good, thank you for working with us, blah, blah, blah. And they let me go in a very good official manner. It's not good to leave a job by being fired. That is not good. But sometimes that is inevitable. People get fired from their jobs and that is okay. It's not the end of the world. Oh, these are Amazon printout return labels. We need to pack up a few items and return them to Amazon. So I resigned from the insurance company and the hospital, and the day came when I had to actually travel. It was exciting. It was going to be my very first time traveling by air. I'm one person who doesn't really get excited over stuff. I don't know, I think it's just within me. I don't know how to express my excitement. I was just a little bit anxious. Of course, you have anxiety. You're going into a new place, a place where you've heard of stories of racism. You've heard of people struggling abroad, blah, blah, blah. I was a little bit skeptical. I was a little bit anxious. But I wasn't really excited. But I know people who really are good at being excited about traveling or even just being excited about anything. But I am not the type. I'm sorry. So what happened was on the D-Day, I met up with my biological dad. He got us a vehicle that transported us, my family, that is my mom, my elder sister, myself, and himself to the airport. That's at Entebbe Airport. It was a good feeling to have my dad around, both parents, my mom and dad around. Yeah, I traveled. I went to Europe just like that. And my first port of entry was Brussels, but I never got a very good experience. When the plane landed, as we're disembarking, well, of course, standing in a line, queue, a bunch of different people, colored people, African people, European people. I was pulled to the side. Like everyone else was being let go, but they pulled me to the side. And the guy was actually nice. He just asked me, what brings you here today? I told him, yeah, blah, 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 student. He asked me, where are you going to be studying? What university? What course are you going to be doing? I told him everything. Yeah, he told me, you have any documentation? I told him, yeah, I have everything. He told me, okay. So he looked at my passport and he was like, okay, all right. He looked at the visa because he asked me, where is the visa? I showed him the visa and everything. And I was like, okay, go ahead. So I followed the queue. I followed where the screens were pointing me at. It's very good to know how to read and write. I am telling you, because it was easy. I didn't even feel like I was going to get lost because I was just seeing what everyone else. And by the way, when you are traveling for the first time and you're not quite sure of the language, it's good to see what other people are doing, especially people that traveled with you on the same plane. Yeah, so I was seeing what was going on. I was seeing them going that way. I was seeing people looking at the screens. I also went and looked at the screen. I was like, okay, I see. I looked at my ticket. I could see my flight number. I'm like, okay, get number, this and this. So I moved to the gate. So as I was going to the gate, I went through immigration. And this guy told me, okay, next. So I go in and he asked me a few questions. And then I told him, yeah, he asked me, do you have the admission from the university? Do you have the scholarship, the document that proves that you have a scholarship and you have the money and everything? I told him, yeah, I have everything. So I was going to pull out the document. And this guy was so rude. He told me, no, don't remove anything from the envelope. Just give me the whole envelope. And he was so rude. I'm telling you, like the way he talked to me wasn't nice at all. Like it was like, it's the worst experience. It's not like, okay, it's one of the worst experiences I've had at an airport. Yeah, he was so rude and I was like, cool. I gave him the envelope. He went through the papers and everything. Of course, in that envelope was my other documents as well, like my school certificates from my previous university where I had done my bachelor's from. Yeah, so that's how it went. He cleared me and I went to the waiting area in the lobby. I went through the shopping whatever center where you know there are some like malls inside the Brussels airport. So I looked around and the good thing with me is I traveled with a few euros, like exchanged money. So I had euros and I looked around for a coffee shop. So there was this coffee shop where I saw this African lady, a person that looked like me. I went to her and I told her, hey, can I have like a coffee, an espresso? So she got me that and I saw the food. I was like, I've never seen any of these snacks. I told him, can I have that snack there? And she was like, yeah, she mentioned the name. I even don't remember the name of that snack. So she got that for me and the rest was history. I was in Europe, waited for my flight. My battery is running down. Anyways, I will continue with this story. Like after now I have landed in Brussels, where do I go next? Like what happened next? You don't want to miss that. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit like and share and subscribe to the video. And make sure you say hi. I can't reach the camera.